We tend to think of curses as things found in remote, dusty corners of the world. But an insidious occult attack doesn't need a dark alley. Sometimes it uses a crowded public transit system to slip through your front door. In 2016, a man named Sagar maintained a grueling, entirely ordinary daily routine. Every morning, he stood on Platform 3 at Thane railway station, waiting to board this exact type of yellow and white local train for his office in Ambernath. He was a married father, completely focused on providing for his family. Look at the sheer density of this boarding crush. When you commute in this kind of suffocating physical proximity, you see the exact same faces every single day. That repetitive, forced closeness slowly eroded the natural boundaries of strangers, leading Sagar to casually strike up a conversation with another daily commuter, a woman named Simran. Sagar initially treated the interaction as a harmless way to pass the time during the long ride. By the time they exchanged numbers, the routine of the platform had already blurred the line between a stranger and a friend. Simran quickly integrated Sagar into her social circle, a group of 6 girls and 2 other boys. They began taking lavish trips to places like Alibag and Goa, which Sagar explained away to his wife as office tours. On the surface, it looked like a carefree group of friends blowing off steam. The group dynamic cracked during a birthday party for one of Simran's friends, Preeti. While posing for a group selfie, Preeti unexpectedly kissed Sagar. He was stunned, assuming she had too much to drink. But Simran reacted with immediate extreme hostility, threatening the entire group and demanding they stay away from him. Simran had been hiding her reality. She was a wealthy UK returnee, divorced, with custody of her child lost to her ex-husband. She used her deep pockets to shower the group with gifts and parties, effectively buying their loyalty and forcing absolute control over their social interactions. And she had decided she wanted Sagar. After Sagar rejected her advances and reminded her of his wife and child, Simran changed tactics. During the monsoon season, she invited Sagar and a few others to a rooftop party. She insisted they dance in the rain, resulting in Sagar getting completely drenched. Afterward, they went downstairs to eat a dinner she had personally cooked for them. Simran had systematically dismantled Sagar's social boundaries over months of partying. Now, the monsoon rain and the shared meal gave her the final opening she needed to launch a direct attack. Sagar returned from that monsoon party incredibly sick, battling a severe cold and flu that refused to break. He was confined to his cramped 1 BHK apartment, an environment with zero privacy. His mother slept in the living room, while Sagar, his wife, and their son shared the single hall. Lying awake and feverish that first night, Sagar watched a dark, completely featureless shadow materialize on the wall opposite him. It crept unnaturally upward and slid across the ceiling right above his bed. He convinced himself it was a fever dream. The next night dismantled that theory. Around 1 a.m., Sagar felt his heavy bedsheet physically pulled away from behind him. A freezing hand touched his hot forehead. He opened his eyes expecting his wife, only to see her fast asleep next to him. He slowly shifted his gaze to the dark corner of the hall. Sitting there, completely silent with its arms rigidly folded, was a physical figure. Sagar was too terrified to move. His physical deterioration rapidly worsened, defying all medication. Days later, he fell into a trance, staring wide-eyed at the ceiling and mumbling in an unrecognizable language. Without warning, he leapt off the bed, grabbed his wife by the throat with terrifying strength, and promised to kill her in a hoarse, unnatural voice. She survived only by grabbing a Bible from under her pillow and reciting verses until his grip failed. As Sagar fell back into a deep, unnatural sleep, his wife realized that the Bible provided only a temporary shield against the violent energy that had taken hold of his body. Desperate, Sagar's wife dragged him to Dahivali to see Tai, a local woman famous for exorcisms. Tai immediately recognized the presence of a massive, dark energy. She agreed to attempt a high-risk removal ritual, demanding a highly specific bundle: liquor, raw chicken, 2 cigarettes, perfume, and multicolored clothes, coated in turmeric and kumkum. Tai told Sagar and his wife to leave this bundle in a nearby forest beneath the sprawling roots of a specific banyan tree. Her absolute non-negotiable rule was that once the bundle touched the dirt, they must walk away and never look back. They dropped the bundle. The moment they turned around, a violent wind whipped through the trees. From directly behind them, a voice cried out. It was the exact sound of Sagar's own mother, screaming that she was being murdered, begging him to turn around and save her. The entity was using psychological warfare to make him break the rule. His wife gripped his arm, physically forcing him forward to their motorcycle. As they sped out of the forest onto the main highway, a massive truck barreled directly at them, forcing a violent swerve off the road, a final physical attempt on their lives. They survived, thinking the nightmare was over. But days later, they learned Ty had suffered a brutal accident, shattering her arm and leg. The night before her crash, Ty dreamt of a man warning her to abandon Sagar or face the consequences. She had challenged the entity, and it broke her bones in response. They realized the awful truth. Confronting a lethal, coordinated curse with an amateur local ritual doesn't cure the victim. It only enrages the parasite and physically endangers anyone who tries to intervene. With Ty hospitalized, Sagar's sister contacted Dadaji, a powerful guru operating from a monastery in Jalgaon. Dadaji already knew they were coming. The moment he arrived at Sagar's home, the guru preemptively cast a spiritual lockdown over every street and pathway leading to the apartment, ensuring the entity could not escape. Dadaji sat Sagar in the center of the room and drew an intricate chalk rangoli, comprised of precise triangles and circles. In the dead center of these geometric patterns, he placed a single fresh lemon. He lifted the lemon, rotated it over Sagar's head, and placed it back into the chalk circle. Instantly, the lemon spontaneously caught fire. As black smoke poured from the burning fruit, the unmistakable putrid stench of rotting meat filled the tiny apartment, accompanied by the distinct sound of a distant, agonizing scream. The guru finally exposed the architect behind the nightmare. When Simran realized she couldn't buy Sagar's affection, she used her wealth to hire a Bengali tantric. Deep inside a cremation ground, that tantric performed a dark ritual, binding a lethal, predatory jinn directly to Sagar's soul. Simran hadn't just looked for a way to win Sagar back. She had gone to a cremation ground to pay for a ritual that would replace his life with a jinn's presence. Dadaji chanted a mantra over the burning lemon, actively reversing the curse. The thick black smoke visibly lifted from the floor, drifted out the window, and shot directly back towards Simran. Dadaji tied a protective thread on Sagar's wrist and warned him that the physical toll of the possession was about to manifest. Exactly 7 days after the guru purged the jinn from his body, Sagar was rushed to the hospital. Doctors delivered a crushing diagnosis: stage 4 lung cancer. The jinn had consumed him from the inside out. Look at this towering statue of Bajran Bali. Sagar endured agonizing rounds of chemotherapy, but he credits his miraculous, complete recovery to his family's unyielding devotion to Hanuman. The deity, acting through the guru and Sagar's wife, absorbed the brunt of an attack meant to kill him. Sagar walks among us today, a healthy man who survived a coordinated execution. But his story proves that dangerous people ride the same trains we do. If you want to know how to spot the hidden dangers in your own commute, subscribe to the channel and stay vigilant.